That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, God, it's a toad, son. It's a toad, dude.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day.
Oh man, that was loud.
Oh.
What's going on, OneCast fans? Welcome to Fishing Friday.
Live.
Coming at you live,
Yes, we are. Friday.
North Carolina. It's Friday.
From the talk.
Trey went fishing today.
Just for a little bit.
I did not go today. I went out yesterday and the day before.
Did you?
Yeah, it was really to troubleshoot my stuff, but
You got it back online now?
it's coming along. Garmin's got to send me a new transducer for the live scope. So
Man.
Ben fried his live scope transducer
yeah,
because he was
it's
using it too much.
no, that's the problem is because I probably wasn't using it enough.
That's right. When a boat sits, it breaks.
I
100%.
I will say I did flip a bladed jig up in the canal.
Yeah.
A couple cruising, and I threw it up on the rocks. I cast a little too far, and so I thought I was hung, and I popped it. And when I popped it, sure enough, a fish had it in his mouth, and I just ripped it right out of the little bass's mouth.
Well,
Out of practice.
I'm 100% out of
what
practice.
kind of jig was that, Ben?
It was a snagless jig,
So-
snagless bladed jig.
That's right, snagless bladed jig. And so if you want to get your hands on some of those, head on over to onecastfishing.com and use the code TheOneCast and join the snagless revolution. You can catch fish. Ben just accidentally didn't catch that fish, I promise. But
That
he's
was all
got-
on me. Yeah.
our podcast apparel is on the OneCast Fishing website, and then all the soft plastics, weedless nets, snagless jigs of all kinds. What else am I missing?
Long neck hooks.
Long neck hooks.
soft
There they are.
plastics.
It's the long neck hooks that blink my mind. But head on over to onecastfishing.com and use the code TheOneCast to save a little change.
Yep. What's going on, David? Justin in the house. Chris Curtis over on YouTube. What's going on, buddy?
On YouTube.
Oh, awesome.
You know, you can head also to CarolinaWatersNC.com. Use the code the code TheOneCast, all one word at checkout, to save 20% off your order. Get some hats, some nice shirts, some fishing apparel, your sun shirts, things like that. Again, that's CarolinaWatersNC.com, code TheOneCast at checkout. Also, newest partner, Hobie Eyewear. I'm going to post in the chats our Linktree link. If you click on that, it'll take you to a page that has all of that. And make sure that you check out Hobie Eyewear, who's our newest collaboration partner. We're ambassadors for them, whatever you want to call it. Super excited to be on board with them.
They're just our friends, dude.
They're just our friends. They're just Dylan is our friend. They're all buddies. All our buddies. We've had a great show with them. If you have questions about their glasses and technology, things like that. But use that link that I'm going to post in the link tree. Click on the Hobie, take you there, save 15% off. You end up getting $100, right around a little more than $100 pair of glasses for $85. So it's tough to beat that.
And we've been getting blown up and we appreciate it. So if you guys haven't checked it out, like go over, like Pete said, if you're scared of losing your sunglasses in the water, but you don't like wearing the lanyard, you need to check out the floating series. They got a ton of different floating series. If you go to the collections and then in collections, it says floating collection. So go check those out. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And speaking of not being disappointed,
Christine,
also,
appreciate you ordering some. That's awesome. You're going to love them.
you are definitely going to love them. You're also going to love finding that piece of property that you guys so much want, with interest rates being the way they are. Eric Swin, our buddy at Mossy Oak Properties, he's going to help you guys find that little piece of paradise out in the woods, wherever you're looking for, whether or not it's just land or if you're looking for a home or anything like that. So you can hit him up at 936-494-9686 or shoot him an email at eschwind@mossyoakproperties.com.
Hey, Corey, we saw your comment up there. That's awesome. You caught the first one on the snagless jig. If you got a picture of it, shoot it over to us because I'd like to repost that. It's good. It's good marketing. User-generated content is what they call it.
David said, first tournament tomorrow for my club. Christine L. Fuchs, that's his wife, is fishing her first tournament with us. You're going to get the bug now, Christine.
Oh, Doug Phillips.
Doug Phillips. While we got Doug on, I want to bring up an event that they're doing on May 18th.
Yeah, let's do it.
So next week's pre-recorded episode, for those of you who don't know, because I know we get a lot of folks come on here live, interact with us. That's awesome. We also record and release a show every week. It comes out Thursdays at noon on YouTube, and then any of the podcast platforms where you listen to podcasts.
The YouTube usually comes out closer to 7 p.m. just because Algorithm wise, it works
Yeah,
better.
it works better.
Yeah.
But next week we have Take a Warrior Fishing Inc. They came in this past week and we interviewed them. Doug Phillips, who's in the chat, FLR Outdoors Incorporated, also runs the Piedmont Bass Classics, is putting on a spring warrior clash. It's at Sharon Harris Reservoir on May 18th. I'm saying it very proper. Reservoir. It's at Sharon Harris on May 18th here in Central North Carolina. It is free for boaters and free for vets. So what they're going to do is you sign up as a boater. They're going to pair you with a vet, wounded vet, unwounded. Everybody's got trauma, whatever it is. You're going to get paired with a veteran or an active duty. It's either veteran or active duty. Somebody that's fought or is fighting for our freedoms. You're going to get paired up with them. It's a fun little tournament, bunch of prizes and giveaways and stuff. So if you're a boater in North Carolina, you're on here and you don't have something already on May 18th, go to PiedmontBassClassics.com and sign up to be a boater. I finally signed up last night. I think Trey's in as a warrior, but if they get too many warriors, he's going to flop over to the boater side to make sure that those warriors can get in. Hopefully Ben's going to join us.
I may be out of town. Might
Yeah,
be
you just have to look. Yeah.
Might be at a concert, but
And that's May 18th.
18th.
So if you're listening, and also if you're a warrior, they still do need some. So you can go to Take a Warrior Fishing. It's warriorfishing.
Warriorfishing.org.
Warriorfishing.org. And you can sign up for that there. So there, Doug just said, yes, there are 12 open spots, and then we're on standby for boaters and anglers.
That's awesome.
Hey, Doug, while you're in the comments, if you wouldn't mind dropping exactly how or a link to your website for the warriors or for the boaters, go ahead and drop that. That way people can check it out. If not, we'll do it for you.
Yeah.
But Doug runs a fantastic tournament circuit here in the Piedmont region. The PBC's been around for a long time, and it's a great circuit. So Doug's doing Take a Warrior Fishing Inc. a huge service, and Doug just retired from the military himself. So, but like Pete said, you guys won't want to miss that episode when it drops next Thursday.
It's going to be a good one, and what their mission, how they're doing, it's really awesome. So
What Mike is that?
Ben,
Mike John?
It had to be Mike Jones. Ben said concert, Britney Spears, you know it. So yep, it was Mike.
Not quite, but
by the way, they come through the weeds and overbrush pretty smoothly. I'm impressed so far. Oh, he's talking about the snagless jig.
oh, awesome. That's why we designed them that way.
Yeah, they come through that veg, man. Unfortunately, we don't have any veg up here, so
They killed most of them.
Yeah, we kill all the grass in North Carolina because we don't like grass.
go for it, Doug. Drop the link in there whenever, bro.
Yeah, so we got that coming up. We've got a bunch of anglers coming up as usual, and some other kind of cool stuff that's a little bit out of the ordinary. You probably haven't heard some of those folks on other podcasts, but just industry stuff. We have, I always give away what's going on. So we've got the folks from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, the Bass Tub.
Oklahoma Bass Tub is coming on. There, you see all those big tanks at the shows.
Is
and
it Bass
stuff.
Tub or Bass Tank?
Might be tank. So I don't know. We'll get it when they come on. We'll get it
This
right.
is pretty bad. I think it's Bass Tank.
Let me go through my picture.
But they're going to come on the show. Yeah, I thought it was Tub. It might be Tank. They're going to come on the show and talk about that whole side of fishing shows and the industry and traveling around with those tanks and fish and water and all of that. So that'll be pretty cool. Something different.
Bass
Tubs of Oklahoma. So we were all sort of right and wrong. So yeah, as far as us, tomorrow Trey and I are going to go do a little fishing, little pre-fishing for a tournament we have next weekend.
Where's your tournament at?
Lake X.
It's up.
It's at Bugs Island. Yeah, Kerr.
What time you guys getting up tomorrow?
Early.
5.
But it does.
That's right. That's right, because it gets light later.
Yeah.
And weather's supposed to be good too, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be decent tomorrow. So it'll be a good day to go up there and run around. And looking forward to that. And then Red Crest is going on. Haven't really watched it a whole bunch. There was some drama that I wish I would have caught. But Ryan Salzman leading right now.
Let me just sniff this marker.
Ryan Salzman is leading right now at the end of day 2. So they made the cut today to the top 10. Weights will reset tomorrow. And tomorrow's championship tomorrow. Do they fish 4 days? I can't remember if Red Crest is 3 or 4 days. Nick, what's Red Crest? 3 or 4 days?
I think it's 4 days.
So yeah, they'll reset the weights, top 10 go, and we're gonna see what happens. So, but apparently there was some drama, which I'm glad I missed, but I'm kind of upset I missed because on the water drama between anglers is always interesting. And apparently No, I didn't see it, so this is what I'm gathering.
Yeah, this is all hearsay.
Apparently,
hearsay from Bass Fishing Forum.
Yeah, but it was on live, so it'll come out here eventually. But apparently, Adrian Avina slid into Michael Neal's spot. Michael was leading the tournament yesterday, yeah, apparently some words were exchanged, and apparently they went around and asked some of the other anglers about the situation, and it came out that Avina had told Dustin Connell he was going to fish that spot, and Dustin said, "Hey man, that's where Michael's leading the tournament at. You need to stay out of there." Adrian went anyway. And then apparently Michael Neal blamed somebody else for telling Adrian about the spot. So a whole bunch of drama going on in the BPT. So it is 4 days for Redcrest. So I might tune in Sunday for the final day just to see who wins that, but I'll be fishing tomorrow. So
Well, if you got service, have it on the water.
no, I can't watch fishing while I fish.
I did see Dustin
You've never
Connell.
done that?
No.
What Dustin Connell, I think they had some pretty torrential downpour happen at Lay Lake, right? Or I don't know.
Yeah, Jacob Wheeler just quit fishing.
Yeah, so Wheeler quit fishing. Dustin Connell was hiding under a dock, but he did set the hook on a fish while they were hiding under a dock and broke his rod tip and stuff. I just saw that short clip.
Yeah, Connell went
Did he
under.
get the fish?
No, it broke his rod.
Or I mean, Wheeler went under one of those covered docks and just put his power poles down and started retying everything while it was pouring down rain.
Hey,
But that's one of the things I love and I hate about the BBT is the weights reset, right? So if you know you're safe,
you don't even have
just
to
get out of the rain, man.
Yeah.
It's just gonna zero and you're back after it. So
Yeah.
So that's going on in the BPT. Nothing with the elites. The classic is next weekend. Super excited for that one. I think it's gonna be a good tournament. It's
Yeah.
setting up pretty well.
I had a wild hair today. I looked at flights from Raleigh to Oklahoma City or Tulsa for like Wednesday.
How much are the flights?
I think to Tulsa was like 600. I think it was like maybe 400 or 500 to Oklahoma City. I even looked at Springfield, Missouri.
What's the drive to Tulsa from here?
A long way.
I'm just curious.
18 hours,
Ugh.
20 hours probably.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's about 4. I think Tulsa's about 4 hours, 5 hours past.
I could make it to Tulsa in like 11 from Pittsburgh. Not even. But they just further west, so that
fair.
makes sense. But yeah, so I mean, maybe Ben's gonna get on an airplane. I don't know.
Classic.
I'm not gonna do it. But, I wanted to. It'd be awesome just to like go just watch it this year.
It'll already start when we go live next Friday. Speaking of which, you have two. You have this week, next week, and then the following week we're doing the first giveaway. So if you have not went and left us a review, screenshot it and send it to us. You're not entered. So go leave us a review on the podcast site of your choice. If you don't listen to the audio podcast, which you can do Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, anywhere that podcasts are available. If you go in there and leave us a review, either if you can't leave words, just stars. If you can leave stars and words, please do that. Screenshot it, send it to us, get entered. We've got 5 months of giveaway starting on the last Friday of this month. And this month we're giving away a Cash and Icon chatterbait rod and a one cast bladed jig set to go along with that snagless bladed jig. So make sure you get entered so you can win that. We also have over the next couple months a Lowrance fish finder. We've got a couple pair of Hobie glasses. We've got Carolina Waters gear. We've got missile baits. We've got Swamp Fox customs baits. We've got a jig box, a edge box completely full of one cast old school jigs. We've got all kinds of stuff. So make sure you get entered if you are not. If you left your review today on Spotify, shoot us a screenshot.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it's you, Nick. I'll add you. You're good.
Yeah, Eddie. Yeah, Springfield was about $200 cheaper than both Tulsa and Oklahoma City, and I know it's because I was looking at Wednesday, which everyone's probably flying in to go to the Classic or something.
Yeah.
But I was surprised. It was so much
I'll tell you
cheaper.
what, I wouldn't drive that far to go watch like the Classic. I would have to take my boat and go fish somewhere.
Yeah. Whoever
I just
said
have
that,
to-
you're absolutely right. If you leave 1 star, please tell me why we suck, because I do not like to know why. Somebody left us a 1-star review, and I look every day to see if they've gone in there and updated it, because it is driving me absolutely crazy why it's 1 star. I just want to know what we do better.
It was probably Mike.
It probably was Mike Johns.
I
So
love
I'm
it.
blocking his phone number as soon as we're
Speaking
done.
of Mike Johns, we fished a tournament today.
An on the phone tournament.
An on the phone tournament. It was actually really fun. He's down fishing. I won't say where he's fishing right now, but he's practicing for Toyota.
He's on the Harris chain.
He's on the Harris chain, but I won't say which lake.
Yeah, you don't have to say what lake.
But yeah, it was pretty fun, man. He was whacking them. He had like 4 to my 1, just because you know how Florida fish are. There's 5 million 12 inchers everywhere, so he was catching 11 inchers for sure. But it was a good time, man. Like,
that was Dave Fuchs.
And then speaking of David Fuchs, man, you're going to be down here next month, so definitely looking
couple weeks.
Yeah, looking forward to that. So when you get down here, the spawn will be full fledged, and I can tell you right now, they ain't moving up. I'm just saying it. They're just not moving up. That's all I'm saying. So,
of course, I'm the first one to spin. Everybody, all you have to do is Google Toyota Series, and they're going to know that they're going to be on the dang Harris chain, Mike. It's not like I'm giving anything. I can say what lake you were on whacking them if you want me to.
Actually, the
Let me guess which one.
I think the
I won't confirm nor deny.
Mike said that the Fishermen National Championship is going on right now down at the Harris Chain of Lakes. I think they got like 180 boats. And
wow!
So they got a real big field. So those fish are going to get pounded on. But it should give them like a week to reset before the Toyota Series starts. So, but there's so many bass down there, it doesn't really matter.
Fells Cove off of East
They're
Toho.
they're always getting hammered in that system.
Yeah, they
so
are.
That's I don't know, Mike. You can probably speak more, but I don't think pressures is big on those fish down there because there's so many fish and it's constant that it's. I'm sure they get a little bit harder to catch, but it's not like here where you can just shut down an entire lake.
I feel like we should just send a link to StreamYard to Mike right now and bring him on and talk about Harris Chain.
Nah, it's too much work.
Oh, you said Harris chain, not the
Yeah.
Toho. I was looking at Toho. Kissimmee chain.
They actually moved out on Jordan, but falls today. We got them in 1 foot of water. Well, PBC has a tournament tomorrow on Falls, and I guarantee it's going to take well over 20 pounds to win that tournament for sure.
There's a 275 high school tournament out of Green Pond tomorrow. Yeah, that lake gets hammered too.
Yeah, Hartwell.
Yep.
Toyota
starts Tuesday. Good few days break though. Yeah, they'll get a little bit of a rest. That'll be good. Jordan. I mean, I know some guys that went on and whacked them on Jordan today. I'm not gonna say where they caught them, but they whacked them
in the water.
They were in the water.
Everybody always whacks them on Jordan.
I mean, I got pictures. I got receipts. So
yeah,
I don't believe anything unless somebody sends me.
Did
pictures.
they text it to you?
You need to check the timestamp on it.
Get those geotags.
No, I've taught everybody that I know how to turn that off.
Weights are going to be a little bit lower for the Toyota. Yeah, it's possible, man, because I think they got a cold front coming in on the day of the tournament or something like that. So
catching retreads is not ethical. Yeah, you can catch retreads. I'm all about that.
Man, if
it's not in a tournament rules that you can't fish in X number of feet of a boat ramp, go catch them retreads, bro.
I know the BFLs are pretty,
because you don't know, any fish could be a retread. What if it just got caught 2 days ago and it was a 3-pounder, but the guy had 30 pounds?
I mean,
look at every fish you catch in the North Carolina lake, and it's going to have holes in it.
Yeah. So
it's just a story. That's right, Corey. It's just a story without pictures.
Yeah, but even pictures lie, bro, because they could be from last year. So whatever.
Trey is the most skeptical person because if he doesn't go out and whack them and somebody else does, it didn't happen.
100%, dude.
That's
100%. 100%, dude. I don't believe anything that I hear over the phone.
There is no live scope ban. There's not going to be live scope ban. We're never going to see a live scope.
Somebody
just said, "What have y'all heard about the live scope ban?" If you heard that they're going to ban live scope, somebody's running their mouth that doesn't know anything about anything. The
only thing that has been brought up by Matt Steffen. And it was there's a bill to be put in front of legislators for Wisconsin. I think it was like number 13 on the list.
Before you go and explain all that, it's not an actual bill. All that was somewhere where a public could post a comment. Nope, it's not even going to the House. It was a forum where anybody in the public can post a proposal for them to consider potentially talking about opening a bill. So some yokel like us just went in there and typed something out about forward facing sonar, and then a bunch of screenshots got
and I tell you
taken.
What,
Alabama ABA might have, but I mean, it's the ABA. It doesn't,
like, the states aren't going to do it unless there's a drastic, like, empirical evidence that it's hurting a fishery. Because guess what? All those little state reps, when Garmin and Johnson Outdoors, they start calling them up and be like, you know how much you're going to cost me? I'll donate to your opponent. I mean, they're not going to pass that.
Pete's trying to
if Alabama ABA live scope ban actually happened, more than likely the ABA, which is national, is going to step in and tell them they can't ban it because they get money from the electronic sponsors, and they'll kill that if they take it away. And it's all about money.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, man. Any organization has the absolute right to ban forward-facing sonar.
That article is from a
That's
year ago.
yeah, that's way old. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was an April Fool's joke
Yep, that one.
on
was.
Wired to Fish.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. I mean, the number one article when you Google it's an April Fool's joke. So
Yeah. So yeah, there's nothing I can find about ABA
look,
banning live scope.
But if you have something,
Yeah,
like-
if you have a link, post it up for
yeah,
us so I
send
can
us the
see it.
link. Yes, Cash. Oh, what do you say? Y'all might be proud of me. I fished a BFL on Norman and got 6th place. That's awesome.
Heck
dude.
yeah, dude.
That's
12-2.
That-
congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's bigger than any bag I've ever caught on Lake Norman. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's a good, especially as a co-angler. Cashin has a new forward-facing rods. Yep, they do.
Who said that?
That was David Fuchs. I've had one of the rods for a little over 2 years now that I've been playing with. And it's I didn't get it special.
What is a forward-facing sonar?
It's just built for throwing those light jigs,
Oh,
like your jig head minnow. That's all. It's the right rod with the right action, the right spine, and everything to be able to keep fish pegged.
that's
I mean, it is technology. I mean, there's technology that goes into it.
yeah, that's
Um,
weird.
What's going on, Jeff? Transducer should be built into the boat. It's only a matter of time.
I mean, that-
Gerald Swindle said something about the ABA banning forward facing. Yeah, I just looked. There's nothing anywhere about maybe the Alabama bass, like the Alabama Bass Trail might, but the actual ABA, I can almost guarantee you will
Yeah,
not.
maybe
It's
the ABT did. I don't know.
because the ABA is a national trail and they get money from Lowrance and Garmin and Humminbird, and they're not going to risk those sponsor dollars to ban something that.
The only thing I can really see happening from like a tournament organization standpoint, because Bassmaster does have their whatever committee that they established to look
Mhm.
at it.
Yeah.
I could see them regulating how many you have, maybe, or how many can be used at a single time. Kind of like they regulate rod lengths. And
Why are we getting wrapped up in this conversation
Because
again?
because it's the number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, let's talk about something else. I don't want to talk about it.
I mean,
I can't find anything. If the ABA ban, if the it was ABT. So if, Jeff, I just googled it. There was nothing there. If we do find that the Alabama Bass Trail has banned forward-facing sonar,
then that's a right.
then we will talk about it when that's true, because they'll be the first one to do that. So that's a real thing with casting rods. It is. Yeah, they just released the forward-facing sonar series of rods today. They're great rods. So one of them, it's not the exact same, but they have a rod called the hair jig rod that was made for throwing hair jigs. It's very close to one of them. I've been using it to throw that technique for a little over a year now, and it works really, really well.
Mhm.
It's a medium light 7.4, so you can bomb those little lightweights out there. It's just a really good rod. Keeps them pegged, all of that good stuff. Yeah, Jeff, if you find the post, just post it in there, and we can talk about it. But
So what else is going on in the bass fishing world?
yeah, what's up, man? Somebody else is new. Who is that? Tony. What's going on, Tony?
What's up,
Hey,
Tony?
did you make it to Red Crest? I have heard that that show is a disaster. So Tony, we were rapping the other day, and he said he was heading down there with his wife.
I will.
I was me swatting mosquito. That's the first mosquito of 2024 that I've seen.
Yeah,
It's about to land on
yeah.
Trey.
I will say this.
If I slap you, it's the mosquito, Trey. I promise.
Okay, yeah.
Today I saw some photos of like Bass Cat and Camus at Red Crest. So then I tried to Google, the Red Crest Expo, like layout vendors and all.
Can't find nothing.
And we tried it again this evening. Like there's no list of vendors that we have found with like a floor plan layout.
Yeah.
We don't even know who's there and who's not there. And
Yeah.
Mike Johnson, let's talk about Trey not calling me back.
I didn't call you back because I was busy catching fish.
Jeff said, "What knot do you tie braid to fluorocarbon?"
I used an FG.
Dude.
What's going on, Dad? My old man's tuning in from Belize. He's down there
Oh, Lord
fly
have
fishing for
mercy.
bone fishing, all that
Oh,
stuff
that's
right
something.
now.
What knot do you? Okay, so what knot do you use to tie fluorocarbon? It depends on which bait.
Oh, Tony, you all right? Hold on. You all right, dude? I hope you're all right. We'll send some prayers up. He said he had a bad accident with his boat, so hopefully you're
What?
okay, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let us know, Tony. If you don't want to put it out there to the world, you can shoot me a message. Just let me know what's going on, and if there's anything we can do. You've been a supporter for a long time, so shoot me a DM. We've been chatting, so
All
But
right.
Jeff, what not to use to tie braid to fluorocarbon? I'll let Trey answer first.
To tie braid to fluorocarbon, it's only one, and that's the Alberto knot.
Yeah, same knot I use.
100%
FG knot.
FG knot.
I can tie the FG, and I did. And there's absolutely no reason to, because every knot contacts the guides and causes friction and eventually breaks down. An Alberto knot goes just fine through eyes. If you're using a bait caster, I will caveat. If you're using a bait caster and you have the micro eyes, you probably want to tie an FG knot. But for me, the only time I go braid to fluorocarbon is on a spinning rod. And I use the Alberto knot, and it comes through the eyes. I can tie 7 to 1 FG knot. Even for the people that say they're fast with FG knots, I'll tie that Alberto knot 7 times.
Actually, we just the other night you kind of gave Chelsea an overview on how to get that tied up. But I don't tie braid to fluorocarbon except for spinning rods. That's just the way. But Brian Latimer said it years ago. He was like, tie whatever knot works for you, right?
That's
so whatever.
That's important.
Like finger dexterity is a big thing. Like the older you get, the worse they get, right? So certain knots are harder to freaking tie.
Oh, man said the Albright.
The Albright knot, but tie the knot that works for you. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking, this is a funny topic.
I was going to say before you answer, nothing will start an argument or debate like a knot question or video on the internet.
Yeah,
go ahead, Ben, because I know where you're going.
I'm going with it. Yeah, exactly. So I use, except for like my crankbait rods and a couple of them, I use almost exclusively braid to fluoro. And a lot of times my braid is my backing. I'll use half spool on braid. And I've been doing that pretty much since I started fishing really the last 10 years, because that was kind of big about 2014, 15. And I've made some videos about it. And people are like, why would you do this? And all this, braid's so expensive. But then like Aaron Martins was doing it back in 2010. There's YouTube videos about it and why they do it that way. And for all these reasons. So it's all personal preference. There's no right way or wrong way to do it. I just prefer using braid because I keep the same braid on there for a long time.
I don't think I would go with a bowline knot to tie braid.
Yeah, the hardest part, with that braid to fluoro is just getting that fluoro trimmed all the way down as close as you possibly can, so that your line is.
This is with the Alberto knot.
This is with the Alberto knot for on spinning rods. It doesn't impact bait casters at all, or at least I've never had it, but I don't throw it on them. But you're especially if you're trying to vertically jig and release your bail, a lot of times that braid or that fluorocarbon will get caught on the tag end of that fluorocarbon. So you gotta cut that very closely. But I don't even use fluorocarbon really. Like the only fluorocarbon I use is with my jerk baits. Everything else is copoly. It's not even true fluorocarbon. And the reason is two reasons. One, it's way less expensive, and then 2, there's a little bit of stretch with that line that I like. So, and it does just fine for me. So, whatever line you like to use that line. Whatever knot you like to tie that knot. But
Jeff, I don't put glue on my knots. No,
I
know some guys that
I have before with an FG knot.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what I was exclusively pretty much going to be fishing that day, but I haven't noticed it really helped that much or not.
Yeah, you just got to get the right pair of snips. Like you can definitely do the glue on the line. I've seen guys try to, do bobbers, like really small bobber stops, sliding it down and stuff like that to get over the end of that line. It's a little challenging to do, but you can do it. Is there a mosquito or is there a hair? But you just got to have the right pair of snips. Like a small pair of Dykes does a really good job at snipping that fluoro or copoly or mono, whatever you're using down. So it just depends on what you have though.
And I pretty much 100% fluorocarbon on everything.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I do use copoly for top water because it still floats. And then
I guess I've got some mono, or I use straight braid depending on where I'm fishing.
And then I do the only mono I use is on a Carolina rig because I like to have my leader float because it helps keep that bait up above that weight when you're dragging it. But other than that, I'm straight fluoro on everything, buzz baits. And then, like I said, I throw.
That's crazy. We had that conversation earlier. Yeah. I was asking Pete, like, how do you throw your buzz baits? He uses fluoro on pretty much all of his top water except for frogs.
Frogs, I use 65-pound braid, and then walking baits and pop bars, I do use copoly.
Yeah, I use braid for all my top water.
Pete, Mosquito on the back of Trey's head. Gave it a swat.
Yeah. Who was that? Mike?
All right. Storm was coming. I was heading in button 40 foot of white capping water, and I didn't see stumps, and I hit it, and it threw me to passenger seat. I have 2 cracks in the bottom of my boat and a broken transom. Had about 50 gallons of water by the time I got. Oh my God.
Well, thank God you're
Yeah,
on
glad
here
you're okay.
talking to us right now. I can't believe you're even on the show right now, man.
Yeah. Appreciate you jumping on. I'm
Yeah.
glad that you're okay. Boats can be fixed. Bones will heal. But lives can't. So I'm glad you're with us in relatively good shape. Hopefully you had your PFD on. If not, it's just
Dude,
it had to be Nick.
Dude, look at here's this is awesome though. So you got, I don't know who that was. I use mono on crankbait still, and then I use a 3-foot leader of mono on my
Jeff said.
frogs. Like everybody.
That's Mike Johns. He's being facetious.
Oh, okay, well, Mike definitely doesn't do that. He uses braid. He uses braid. But
I bet you did, Tony. But like I said, boats can be fixed, man. You're alive, and that's all that matters. So good.
Well, I was just saying it's interesting. Like you see, everyone has their own, like they're comfortable with what they do.
Yep.
And like I can't stand using mono on the end of a Carolina rig. And the reason being is I feel like you lose a lot of fish depending on how they're biting, right? So if they're not biting really good, when you're trying to get that hook set, there is a lot of stretch in mono. But if it works for you, it works for you. For me, I go co-poly to co-pilot.
What if I told you, and this is a scientific fact, that there's more stretch in fluorocarbon than there is in monofilament?
I don't believe anything that I hear, because most of the time it's just proven wrong. So, and scientists are human beings and they lie all the time.
This is from a line manufacturer. Fluorocarbon actually stretches more than monofilament, but it takes more pressure to get it to start stretching.
Yeah, I would.
It'll stretch more, but it's a lot harder to get to stretch, which is why folks prefer it with
a Carolina
with
rig.
More baits. Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know why I like it on the Carolina rig. I haven't had that. I use super heavy mono, like 20-pound test, so it's like rope back there.
I know. In the last time I tried it, I think I used 14-pound mono.
And what are you
in the
using
back.
for your main line?
17-pound fluorocarbon.
Okay.
Or co-poly, right?
No fluoro. I use straight fluoro on everything except for 2 top water rods. Then that's what I throw my walking baits and my pop R's on. Everything else
That's
is straight
interesting.
fluoro and frogs.
Braid to fluorocarbon on a sea rig.
I know a lot of people that do
That's-
that.
Yeah.
I did it for a long time. I hate
Actually, I might
braid.
try that.
Especially if you have a lot longer leader,
Yeah.
2 or 3
I cut
foot
mine
leader.
down, by the way.
Yeah, that's good. 'Cause
I had like
he had like an 8.5 foot leader the other day. I don't know how he was throwing it. He pulled it out and he took it off. I'm like, you throwing a sea rig and the weight was touching the eye and it was still a foot off the deck. And I'm like, how are you even going to throw that?
Hey, they say the longer the leader, the better,
It's
man.
like throwing a drop shot with a 3 foot leader.
Tony, you're going to Red Crest to see the pros.
Why do I hate braid? I don't hate braid. I just don't prefer braid. It's a preference thing. Like we said, you got to be comfortable with what you do, right?
100%.
And I used braid for a long time, braid to fluoro, like Ben did. And then I got a bad batch of braid and I lost a tournament because I broke fish off because of braid failing. And I haven't used straight braid except for on frogs since. I'm going to look for Wheeler, shake his hand. Yeah, make sure you tell him that Trey Thompson, his biggest fan, said hello. It's just me, though, honestly.
He's got a signed T-shirt.
Like, yeah, Gerald Rhodes kills him with braided fluorocarbon. Braided fluorocarbon is a great. Nobody's right or wrong in this, right?
Right.
Me personally, I just am not a fan of using braid. I feel like I'm just more comfortable with straight fluorocarbon.
So
Comfort is everything in fishing. If you're not comfortable and confident in what you do, you're gonna fail. So you have to be confident. I've snapped braid too, and everybody asks me all the time, like, why do you throw 65-pound braid on your frog rod? Because I broke 50 on a hook set. So I went to 65 and I haven't broke it yet.
I think you just,
and for me, that's
you
it.
You just got to get the recipe right. And you're absolutely welcome on that Cortland line.
What's going on, Fish and Faith NC? Glad to see you in the house, bud. Hope you're doing well.
Braid, depending on the rod you're using, like the reason I don't use braid like on a Carolina rig, I don't know if I've ever tried, but B, like I'm not sure I would be able to, on a Carolina rig, like you need a good rod to feel that bite, right? Like, and I don't know if I would be able to feel it with braid, but I'll try it. I'll definitely try it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
and I
to feel more braid.
that's what everybody
you?
says, but I don't feel like I do. I feel that, but again, it's a confidence
because
thing,
it's
right?
tight,
Like
right?
It's supposed to be because there's no
65-pound
stretch.
braid. Pretty much everybody I know throws 65-pound braid on frogs, Mike. You also fish with fluorocarbon in Florida, and everybody says you're crazy. So, yeah. So, Justin, I'm also braid to fluoro on all my spinning rods. That's the one time I still use it. I lost confidence, and when I got to put a lot of pressure on a fish and braid to fluoro, you need it for them gators. That's right. I just feel when I'm putting pressure on stuff, jig, flipping, anything like that, I just don't feel confident with the braid to fluoro anymore. So I went straight fluoro.
You know what's funny is my PB came on. So when I first got into like actual bass fishing, I was using it's sitting out there right now. It's one of the free rod and reel combos that we got from Orders on the Water, is a Lose speed stick or whatever. I can't remember the name of it, but I used to go straight braid, like 20 or 30 pound braid to a wacky worm hook and throw a wacky worm just like that. And you know what? Thinking about it now, I feel like I caught more fish doing that. You know what I mean? I definitely lost less fish doing that, but
Yeah.
I think the fish, I think we get in this mind, like the fish are getting more pressured. We got to use smaller diameter line, more clear stuff, all that stuff. But when it's in the spawn, I'm not sure if that really matters. And that's when I caught my PB was in the spawn. So I don't know.
I know Sam
Got
flipping
him.
crickets. We've been fishing. He cranks a braid.
Does he?
And
I know a lot of people do. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that fish with straight braid.
You know, I'm going to try some different techniques out since we're having this conversation on live. Like, you know, I told you guys I was going to throw a chatterbait this year or a bladed jig. I have thrown it. I haven't caught a single freaking fish on it. But I'm going to keep throwing it. I promise. Pete saw me take one out of the boat today. I'll throw it. So
What'd you take?
a chatterbait,
You ain't
bladed
gotta
jig.
throw it.
I'll throw it. I'll throw it.
The thing is, you throw it 3 times.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then
It's,
you put
again,
one.
it's a confidence thing, right? Like a bladed jig, I'm just not confident in it.
See my dad, braid to Mono, Carolina, to help float the bait. Yep.
Pete's dad actually knows how to catch fish, so I believe that.
Yeah.
He's
I
down.
did it that way a long time.
Man, we were talking some line tonight, huh?
Yeah, and we got a whole series coming. I just got to get Dale lined out,
Hey,
line manufacturer, to come on and talk
I-
about everything.
I still love this because everyone's got their own preferences, and
Yeah.
people are so dogmatic with it because you see it in
Uh-huh.
the comments, like all those NARP videos I used to do, and
Yeah, you
But-
got it bad on
that-
TikTok, didn't you?
people are like, you're just doing a demonstration video of whatever knot it is, Palomar knot, improved clench knot, pick your knot, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, use this one, don't use a braid on this one, or make sure you wet your line. It was just laying in the water. I just took it out of the water. I need to, it's just,
That's one thing I don't do. I don't know. I know Pete does it. He's like slobbers all over his line, but like
Yeah.
I don't like slobber,
No, I get
all
that.
over.
I make sure
But-
she's wet, bud.
But I feel like fluoro burns worse.
You
than,
have
like,
you have to
co-pilot.
make sure it's wet.
Yeah.
If it's not wet with fluoro, you're gonna.
'Cause-
And that's a lot of guys that don't like fluoro because they say knots don't hold is because they're burning their line.
Yeah.
Whatever. You can cinch it down as tight as you want it, but just make sure she's wet before you do it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
and that means if you just took it out of the water,
It's
Yeah, you're probably fine.
You're
but
probably fine.
I mean, I make sure it's well lubricated.
I don't wet any of my knots yet. Are you using fluorocarbon or
It's
are you?
Mike.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Well, he also doesn't retie either. So
He's like
it's
Ben.
fine.
That jig's been tied on for 3 years. I'm just gonna throw it.
What?
Hey, when
6
you-
pound mono.
when you know how
for-
to tie a good knot, it don't matter.
Nick,
6 pound mono for a half ounce snack.
he be frogging with 4 pound, bro.
Good Lord, have
That's old
mercy.
Terry Lee.
But I tell you what, though, you hear a lot of the pros saying it now. You know, we talk about like technology, and I think we said it a couple lives ago, but line technology has gotten so great that, you know, guys are going smaller and smaller and smaller on the fluoro and stuff that they're using.
Well,
and
it's interesting because not so much now, but I would say 5-6 years ago, I'm almost exclusively only used 10-pound and 12-pound tests,
really,
whether that's cranking, flipping, or whatever. And I had a lot of success doing it.
and now you jumped your line size up.
No, maybe on bigger jigs, I use 17, but like
Yeah.
I still crank on 10.
I crank.
Yeah,
on
I crank
8.
on 10.
I crank on 8.
I've done it.
I
yeah.
crank. I shallow crank on 8 co-poly.
Mhm.
And then when I throw a little bit bigger, like, you know, like a deep diving, like Fritz side or something, I'll throw like 10 pound on there. But yeah, 8 and 10 is pretty staple
Oh, I'll
for
use
me.
like
And-
10 on 6XDs.
Well,
Yeah,
then
me
when,
too.
when I go to like 6XDs or big deep diving plugs, I'll go 12 pound on that, unless I can't get it down. And then I'm usually not changing line size. Usually I'm adding like lead and stuff
Yeah.
to the hooks.
You gotta make sure it's wet, Mike. You gotta get in there, bud. Yeah, I mean, I crank on 10 pound for the most part. If I'm cranking lay down and stuff with square bill, I have one that I throw 14 because I'm not worried about
Yeah.
depth as much as I am, being able to get those fish out of there.
And, I mean, that's like bladed jigs for me. I use 10 or 12
Do you?
for the most part. Yeah.
And I throw pretty much everything else is on 14 to 16 pound.
Jigging spoons, floater spoons, I do use like 17.
Yeah, I throw that on 20
Yeah.
because you're putting a lot of pressure on.
Well,
it.
usually you're snagging
Flutter.
catfish in the butthole.
You do snag a lot of catfish in the butthole.
What about you guys that are watching and listening and stuff? Are you big flutter spoon fans? Because I'll tell you what, it's absolutely one of my favorite ways to catch them in the summertime when they're schooling. Like, you have no idea what you're going to set the hook into. Usually it's a good bass when you're throwing a big flutter spoon, or it's a big old catfish. And we had that happen numerous times last year.
Yeah, we're talking line. I'm enjoying it. So, a lot of people go to braid when they're flipping like lay downs and stuff like that. Braid is actually the least abrasion resistant out of all three line types. Because if you get one nick in one strand of that braid, you reduce it by 75% strength, and you're more than likely going to break a fish off.
Yeah.
I learned so much just picking the brains of the guys that actually make the line that, like, I'm so confident that outside of a frog and punching, I don't use braid. I'll flip into the middle of a laydown with fluorocarbon and have complete faith that when I jack a fish, I can drag it out of there.
I don't use braid for flipping anything unless like it's straight punching.
Punching. Yeah, that's it.
punch. Yes,
Straight
same.
punching.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I use
Which we don't do.
I
that
use
much.
15 pound co-poly or 20 pound co-poly, depending on what I'm flipping. If it's like big, thick buck brush or something, I'll use 20 pound. But yeah, I mean, like I don't flip with braid anymore.
Yeah, I flip with 20 pound flora pretty much exclusively. Sinkos are braid to fluorocarbon also. Yeah. Like I said, it's so cool because everybody does something different.
Yeah,
Everybody's
he
successful.
also throws his $300 swim baits on 8-pound test too.
No, that's 20. Well, it depends on the weight.
That's a lie. He doesn't throw those swim baits at
He
all.
doesn't though.
I either throw them on 20 or 25 pound. It just depends on the bait and how heavy it is. But yeah, I don't throw.
Oh yeah, blade baits, 100%. And speaking of smallmouth, we got a really cool guest coming up here. We've already had him on the show once, but if you guys are into smallmouth or want to learn about smallmouth, he's not only a smallmouth angler, but we're gonna have Destin on here in a couple weeks, right? So
Yeah, Destin's gonna come on. We're just gonna talk springtime smallies on the Great Lakes, so it's gonna be a fun episode. If you're up in that area and want to get some tips on how, or if you're planning a trip up there, Destin's gonna give some juice on how to get them. So
oh yeah,
it's gonna be a fun episode.
he's the dude to talk to about it, and he'll probably go into line and stuff too. So there'll be a continuation of this line conversation that we're having about like what's the best setup to use for those smallies in the springtime.
I'll 100% say with line, it's 1,000% personal preference.
100,000%,
100,000%. You just got to be comfortable.
200,000.
You can look at how many different ways people do things and it works for them. There are advantages and disadvantages. Trey doesn't trust scientists, like you said, but if you look at scientific, I'm burning all your spots, old man. I'm telling everybody. I can't burn your spots because you don't believe in waypoints. So when you get go out of the mouth, turn left into the bay, go to the fourth dead tree on the peninsula and start your drift there. Like what? There's 9,000 dead trees.
And you know
Is
what?
the fourth one closest to the beach or furthest away?
Hey, no one's ever found your dad's spot.
No, he can't even find them half the time. Around here somewhere, just put her down. We'll figure it out.
Don't worry, Big Pete. Your son has gotten on me numerous times for deleting my waypoints off my graph. every
I yell
time
at
go
Trey
fishing.
all the time. He's like, every time I leave the lake, I delete my waypoints. I'm like, why? There's stuff that I know where it's at, and I'll go and I can't find it if it weren't for that waypoint.
I'll tell you what, you just got to go 15 seconds, take a left. You got to be running 30.
Now you could delete them on Harris because let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, but I will say I've
Well,
been finding some new
So
stuff.
it's one of those things. Every brush pile I find,
He said my fishing
something like
spots
that,
are so
I don't
secret, even the
delete.
fish don't know. I hear that.
But like if I see a school off a ledge or something,
Yeah.
like I'll mark it and then I'll get.
When
rid
will
of
the
it.
one cast
Mhm.
fishing tournament be this year? Sounds like a good idea to me. Yeah, we'll get something going. I'm thinking Maybe we'll do something when my old man's down here and Mike comes up. And
So I
When you come-
actually had a dream about that the other night that we hosted and we'll have to get our buddy Doug involved because he has like all the weigh-in stuff, but
we should do it with Bubba Scales.
we could do a Bubba Scales or make it big. But yeah, yeah, we definitely need to throw something together.
He
Just-
said that. Jeff, you should have a yoga instructor on to talk about stretches to do on deck before.
I can
fishing.
get a yoga instructor on, I promise, if you want to. It's not my wife.
that.
That would
That would be an episode.
that
Are they going to stretch on the table? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like we're
No.
crossing.
no.
Yeah.
We need to go out and do it on the lake.
We
Yeah.
fished for smallmouth on the New River braid to fluorocarbon. What lake leader do you guys recommend? So, Steven, for me, if you're talking spinning rods, I put a pretty long leader on, but I retie a lot. So I might put a 15, 20, 25 foot leader on. You really only need 6, 7 foot.
Yeah.
But I put a lot of extra on because I do retie quite a bit. Because another thing with fluorocarbon is I get paranoid because like braid, it's super hard to nick it, but when it does get nicked, it breaks super easy. So I'll retie pretty frequently depending on the situation. If I'm fishing a tournament, I'll retie after almost every fish. Trey, can you fly a plane through the Alps with a map and stopwatch? I don't know. Can you, Trey?
No, I need a compass, a protractor, and a 6-pack.
Nick, if you buy the yoga pants, I'll wear them, bud.
Oh God.
I just picked up a Bubba
Please.
call set.
Hey.
I got the call set and the scale, and
Nick,
it is.
You heard it. You will buy yoga pants. This man will wear them on one.
You
of
buy the
lives.
yoga pants, and we will do a live on the water, and I will wear those yoga
Oh
pants.
my gosh.
I'll tell you what, Nick. You buy them, and we're not gonna use Kerr, but so for our tournament series this year, Trey and I.
Can you get a pair that says juicy?
Hold
the
on.
backside?
Trey and I are fishing. If Nick gets them, it's going to be rough. Trey and I are fishing together. Nick and Mike Nadeau, who's a good friend of ours, are fishing together. We're fishing the Fishers of Men. So here's the bet I'll make with you, Nick. If you beat us at Gaston,
At Gaston?
if you and Mike beat us at Gaston, I will wear yoga pants in the next Fishermen tournament. If we beat you, to be determined. I'll come up with something. We'll figure something out. But we'll make a bet. We'll make a bet at Kerr this week. All right, bud. We'll come up with something.
Oh,
Bro, you just walked right in.
Oh, I'm wearing them. Mike's got like 30 years experience on gas, and we're gonna get our teeth kicked in, and I'm gonna be out there in
Oh,
yoga
Lord.
pants. So
No, Mike's not going to make it to that tournament because his brake lines are getting cut. I'm not watching Pete wear yoga pants on daggum tournament when I'm standing behind him.
I'm a
you know what I
twerk
mean?
up there
yeah.
for you,
I
bro.
was going to ask who's running the front of the boat.
So Gaston's going to be my.
me.
No, that's my
But
boat.
I'll be there all week with my boat, so we'll just fish out of mine.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well,
Kerr and Gaston, we're gonna run Jordan and Falls with your boat
okay, that's fine. That works. So
because
I
you've got the points on there already.
I deleted my waypoints. today.
Son of a. Yeah, the yoga pants are going to be rough. We'll like.
Dude,
I'll put a sensitive content. tag
you
on it.
just pick. So if you do have to wear yoga pants, you know that's the month of April.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be like hot, steamy, swampy.
it'll be on Jordan too, so it'll be packed with a bunch of
No,
pleasure
that's-
boaters. And
Is it April or is it May?
Gaston is April.
Oh no.
We have Gaston the first week, and then we go to Jordan 3 weeks later.
I hope it's raining so you have to wear your bibs.
Guys, can you provide feedback on brands for trailer steps? Trick Step, either Trick Step or DD26 is making them now. Those are the two I would recommend.
Yeah. DD26 is a
Veteran owned.
veteran-owned, American-made quality products. All of their stuff is good. I haven't seen anything that they make that I don't like.
It's all way over engineered.
100%, dude. It's just like
But I think Trick Step is US too. I think
Yeah.
they're out of the Great Lakes somewhere.
yeah. Is Trick Step the one that you mount off to the side?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Not many make the inline like what you have. I like yours, but Mike Johns, that he just said, I just mounted mine. I saw his when I was down in Florida, and I really, really like
Mike, if you got a picture of it, post it on the chat if you can. I don't know if you can.
Ben, look, there's one rule, Nick, no MLF yoga shorts. DD26 motor cover on my boat. Yep, I've got the motor cover. I've got the steer stops and the transom saver.
Yeah, that's $1,000 that he just.
It's not cheap, but I bought it all when I bought the boat because I wanted to get
Yeah,
the best, and everything I looked was that. And dude, it's solid, billet, machined
like
aluminum. Like,
M1A1 Abrams.
Yeah, like,
quality.
I've dropped that
You know?
thing. I backed in the water with it still on, and some little some little Asian guy grabbed it for me because I didn't know it was still on. I trimmed my motor up and it fell, and he came running, and I'm like, stop. Somebody was backing me in, and he's like, you dropped this. And I was like, oh shoot, I forgot it was on there.
I did it like a couple months ago. I backed mine in. I was like trying to trim it down. I'm like, what is going on? And here it is.
What are those steering stops? The DD26. So it's just, if you Google DD26 fishing, it'll be on there. Chelsea's first tournament's the same day we're on Kerr on Heiko. They canceled the
Sharon Harris.
Sharon Harris one because of the weather. The steering stops. Yep, that's the DD26 one.
That
man.
was
They're-
last weekend, right? Whatever.
Yeah, it was supposed to be last weekend. They got all that rain, and then Sunday it blew 140 miles an hour all day. So she went out there and practiced, and
Yeah.
it was rough. Heard the new Hobie glasses are legit. Yes, sir, they are.
I've got 3 of them.
Faith and Fishing. I've got 3 pairs as well, and they are great. If you go to our link trees, which I'm posting in the chat, boom, 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 you can click on the Hobie link. You can go there, save 15%. Also, the Carolina Waters link is there with our code, One Cast Fishing. And then I have the link to our friend Eric Schwind with Mossy Oak Properties.
Mhm.
So make sure you check all them out. But
You're
yeah, if you go to DD26, David, you can check out those steering stops. They're expensive. I'm telling you right now, like,
But they won't break.
you're not going to break them, and they're very well built. They are machined aluminum. They're heavy. Like, that's one thing I like about them. If anybody ever comes up to me when I'm taking them off at a boat ramp tomorrow, I'm just going to club them in the side of the head with it.
they're like nunchucks.
Yeah, only better because they're and you can get them any color.
I
So
was
if you want to
gonna-
color
yeah.
match your boat, you can do that. Like, they've got all that fancy stuff going on. So
Mhm.
I got red ones so that I could look and not miss them.
That's pretty good.
And I got blue motor toter, and I forget it all the time anyway.
Glad you are okay, Mike Johns. What happened?
I can't, but I'll post it on Facebook chat later. What happened?
Oh, I asked Mike if he could post a picture of his step. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
where's everyone fishing tomorrow? So Pete and I will be practicing
Kerr Lake,
Kerr Lake.
Bugs Island.
I'll be on mine.
Ben will be on his Lake X.
Yeah, it is like Lake X because you have to live there to fish it.
Yep.
Who's going to win the classic? Oh, we're going to give those predictions in a minute, but let's give them, Ben, right now. And this is the last
Do
time
we want to do it now? Do we want
no.
to do it?
because next time it'll be the first. Tournament will have already started.
Give
Doesn't matter.
give your
Bring up the list.
No, you have to go off
I-
memory.
I'll tell you mine.
I can tell you mine.
I'll tell you mine. Mine's Luke Palmer. I think Luke Palmer is gonna close the deal. And then in the rookie class, I'm rooting for Ben Milliken.
You have to pick one, Trey. Who's going to win the Bassmaster?
I'm giving a tenured guy and a
Nope.
rookie.
You have to pick
All right.
one.
Luke Palmer.
Luke Palmer.
You know, they just opened sports betting here in North Carolina. I won my first bet ever, which
Did
was
you?
awesome. Yeah.
Would you win? Like $7?
Yeah. I only bet $5 on NC State to beat Duke.
Nice.
And, no money against the spread. They won outright. But anyway, I looked it up. Why can't we bet on bass fishing?
Dude, we should be able to. We should start
Like,
that.
It should be prop bets. How many 30
What's going on, Clayton?
Is the big fish going to be like?
Yeah, margins and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
Justin
good.
said he'll be on Hartwell. Nick, for me, I can't find the roster. So for me, I'm going with a rookie who's risen to the challenge of everything. He's got some experience in this part of the world, and I am going to say Ben Milliken
Mhm.
is going to go out there and win the first Bassmaster Classic he ever fishes.
That would be pretty sweet, dude.
I know, you got Jason Christie, who's a local favorite, obviously got a lot of experience on that lake. There's another Oklahoma angler too, and I can't remember.
While Ben is picking his, you guys shoot your Bassmaster Classic winner in the
Clayton,
comments.
so, Central Arkansas. What's going on, buddy? Hope you're doing okay.
Who's gonna win the Bassmaster Classic? Everybody fire
Everybody
off at once.
in the chat. in our
Everybody in the
chats,
chat.
Put on there who you believe is going to win the Bassmaster Classic. It's going to be a good event. I'm excited for it. It's heating up. It's a
Who's going to Bugs?
nobody.
Yeah, he said Bugs.
Oh, that was Brad was just I think responding to us. Brad will be at the big Bass Pro Shops if you're in the Cary, North Carolina area and you don't have anything going on tomorrow. You can swing by the Bass Pro Shop. They got the Bass Pro Shop Spring Fling, whatever they call it, going on. So
It's going to be Fujita.
Fujita,
Koya
I can see
Fujita?
that. Brian
All he
Schmidt.
does is fish.
Mike John says Brian
So-
Schmidt.
We got Brandon Cobb,
Jeff said the guy with the most weight.
Brian Schmidt, Milliken, Polinek, and then
Good
the guy
pick.
over the most weight.
Brandon P, another Polynick. That's a good one.
Have you heard any rumors of what's being released at the Classic?
Dude, they've been super tight-lipped. So Lowrance released their new series of graphs, which takes the place of
Have
the old.
Have they come out? Because
Yeah, it takes place of what was the entry level one that just had sonar and mapping.
Was it the Hook?
Yeah,
The
so
Hook,
they
yeah.
they released the Eagle, which is taking it place. Seth Ellis, there you go. So anybody in Cary, if you want to see Seth Ellis, he'll be up at Bass Pro Shop tomorrow, and he's giving a seminar. What time is that, Brad? So we can let everybody know.
And Seth Ellis is a local hammer, and he also fishes the MPFL.
MPFL just won out there on Jordan on Tuesday. Heck of, and a super nice guy. If you're up there, make sure you holler at him. He'll be on the show here soon too.
yeah, but
Because
because on Tackle Warehouse, you used to be able to get. I mean, they had massive discounts on Lowrance for sure, and I think the other two companies too. 'Cause-
Yeah.
but I don't know what's coming out.
they're always tight-lipped,
Can you
right?
grab that hair off his hat? It's bothering me. It's right there on the edge.
They're always tight-lipped.
But we're a week out by this point.
Yeah, it's been good, man. Yeah, Hook is now the Eagle, David. Yeah,
Ben-
that's what I was going with. 12
Ben.
o'clock at Bass Pro.
Ben, who's your winner of the Classic? You still haven't picked.
Fujita.
Fujita.
Oh, yeah, you did pick.
So yeah,
Short term.
the Eagle was the new graph released by Lowrance. You won't see a new active target when they do release their next iteration. It'll probably be next year.
I got a question with you on that.
yeah.
Do you have the target that? No, you don't. Are you still using Mega Live?
No, I
No,
I
active
switched.
target.
I
Did you-
can't ever keep anything.
I know. Did you ever use the target lock?
No, I would have if it
'Cause-
would have came out the same time as
Because
my
those
Mega
were
Live.
severely discounted on Tackle Warehouse. So I was
Yeah.
like,
They probably didn't work very well, huh?
yeah.
What's up, Cody?
I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. So.
New trolling motors. Mike's thinking some new trolling motors coming out. Yeah, I don't know.
Here we go. Omni's got a thing with the new classic releases.
They got some stuff.
Yeah, new St. Croix rods, new Daiwa.
You know what they need? They need a new forward-facing sonar unit.
I hope somebody comes out with something.
Daiwa's got a new
Power pole is going to come out. with
BFS reel.
something.
BFS
Yeah, it's a
reel.
domestic. I heard they were coming out with that. It's on their BF70, which is I use that on one of my BFS rods. It's a nice little reel. I don't have the BFS one. I have the original Tatula 70, but it's a nice little.
I
reel.
still have Ebu Garcia Black Maxes.
there's Metanium 70s coming out.
DC. There's $1,000.
do,
reel.
do they have anything on
500?
electronics or no?
I'm getting down to it.
We're just gonna we're gonna let him keep rolling down through and see. I don't know. It'll be most of the electronic companies and those do a really good job of being tight-lipped about what they have
Right.
coming.
Yeah.
I suspect we'll see some type of software update probably from Humminbird to update their stuff. Humminbird is due to release a new Helix generation because it's been 2 years now. I actually don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to eliminate the Helix series altogether and they're going to go Solix Apex. And the Solix will probably come down a
I
little bit.
heard
in
a
price.
rumor about that. Yeah,
It wouldn't surprise me because the non-touch screen is kind of going away.
it is annoying.
I like it because I always break touchscreen and it never worked because my hands are always gross. And they do have a better way to keep fish alive, bud. Have you not heard about the fish lung yet? Jeff, make sure you check out Fish Lung. It is awesome. It's a little bit pricey, but it really does everything they can do to help keep fish alive. It's pretty incredible technology.
In fact, I think if you go back and listen to our episode with John Cruz, which was last year, I think he talks a little bit about the fish lung.
There's talk about the classic banning live scope deal. They're not banning live scope. Nope. Not this year. I mean, they might talk about it for next year, but they're definitely not for this year. We can't get Solix
Ooh.
anything. They have to be changing something. Oh, if you can't get them, Brad, yeah. The Solix may be going away. Maybe they're coming out with a touchscreen Helix version. But I feel like there's going to be a shake up there because they've run the Solix Helix for almost 10 years now with those two. They added the Apex last year, which is above the Solix. So it makes sense that they would sunset the Solix or the Helix. Solix probably makes more sense because they've had a lot of issues with Solix in every generation. They're good graphs, but they've had touchscreen issues and stuff. Are y'all going to ICAST this year? Not this year, Nick. I say
might.
that. Ben
That
might.
I signed up for I haven't paid, but I registered as part of for the media. So I don't know. That's the same time Liz goes to Rhode Island. So
Yeah.
Hey, I was going to ask Trey, have you used those new Berkeley jerkbaits?
The Credge?
The Credges?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used them. I only got my hands on 2 of them. They are
Did that person put useless in the wind? They have something different then.
No, I'll tell you right now, those Kredges are super heavy. You can, depending on which line you're using, I'm using, 8-pound fluoro, 6-pound fluoro. They bomb a mile because they're so heavy. They are very specific to how you're trying to target fish because they go backwards, and so you have to work your rod tip up. But like, say you're facing into the wind, you got a lay down or a brush pile that has a wide top and they're at the base of the tree. If you know how to cast right, you can get that Kredge to float back into the tree, but not hit the top of it and get down to the base. I haven't caught a single fish off them yet. It also hasn't, we haven't had the right conditions for it.
You've only thrown it like one
I've
time, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I've thrown them just to see what they look like on forward facing sonar, and they look good. I know you're going to be able to crush them during schooling season. 100%.
I just want to go back to Justin said there's talk about the classic banning live scope. Do you know anything about that? It's not happening. I can tell you that with absolute certainty. And you said, I heard they're losing ratings. That is a common internet rumor that people that don't like live scope are starting. The first 2 Elite Series events had the best ratings they've had in 15 years, as far as viewership numbers, watch time, all of that. So they're not losing ratings. The problem is all of the, I mean, I'm one of them. Like, I want to say purist, but I also embrace technology. All the people that will not embrace change hate it. So they're trying to start all these rumors and all this stuff saying that it's killing the sport. All it's doing is just bringing new eyes to the sport, new fans to the sport. There's a youth movement in fishing right now.
And look at the weights.
So, it's a culmination of a lot of things, but this rookie class being the first rookie class that was outstanding, that fished all 9 BASS Opens, they brought a lot of attention to the Elite Series this year. I mean, look at Ben Milliken, man. Like, nobody can deny it. The numbers are there. Everybody can see the numbers. Like, he absolutely has a cult following that came to the Elite.
If you wonder about some of those numbers, to back up what Trey's saying, go on social media when people are talking about stuff and look at the number of comments that say, I've never watched an Elite Series event until Milliken made it. I didn't even know there was an Elite Series until Ben made it. Like, all these people didn't know that. And now that's gotta be Mike Johns. Mark Trey. I heard Pete is getting banned. It's been an hour. I've got to get some FX series. All right, Mike, have a good night.
Are they televising?
I know, right, David?
The Pro-Am tournament?
I don't know.
I hope they do. So if you guys didn't see the Pro-Am tournament, I didn't mean to steer thunder. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, so I saw it today. I don't know which day it is, but at the Classic, I think there's 10 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a pro, like there's Matty Wong, Scott Martin. I don't know if Milliken's on it.
No, because he's fishing the Classic.
Yeah, you're right. So 10 guys who didn't make the Classic, and they're paired up with a celebrity. So Whiskey Myers, Randy Moss.
Really?
Patrick Queen, NFL linebacker. Co Wetzel.
Yeah.
Whiskey Myers. There was
is Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
No, not on
that. He's probably got a scheduling conflict, but that's new. That's pretty cool. It's kind of like the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game. I mean, you might as well have it. I mean, it's
Maddie's got Co Wetzel, so that should make for some interesting content.
That's gonna be a good.
You couldn't have two different people that are the same.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well,
one
tell we can get him on
deep South Texas boy, and the Aloha State kid.
Yeah, but
it's gonna be fun.
They're gonna have a
blast, man.
So what do they do? So I didn't see that.
It's a team tournament, a pro and an amateur,
but when is it?
We don't know. I haven't seen anything about when it was.
Hang on, let me.
Probably tomorrow. It's gonna be next week. It'll be before the Classic, I'm sure.
Yeah. So the other thing that's going on too, and we talked about it before, is if you haven't checked out the MPFL, go to MPFL's got an event that you can sign up for through the first form, and you can fish with 10 MPFL anglers, 1 of 10 MPFL anglers if you get chosen. So
Pro-Am kickoff 24. It's to kick off the Classic. It's on Skiatook Lake in Skiatook, Oklahoma, March 21st from 7 to 11 a.m. So it's a 4-hour deal.
So it's the day before the Classic.
You got Randy Moss, Ross Chastain, who's a NASCAR guy, Travis Pastrana. That's kind of a cool one.
He's going to hold
Brian Robinson, Cody Cannon from Whiskey Myers, who also owns Toad Thumper,
Hood.
Co Wetzel, Hood Fishing. If you've never seen that guy, he's
Yeah, he's massive.
he's an
dude.
influencer.
Yeah,
He's got a really funny channel. He's got a good channel, lots of good information.
and
And then
Barstool.
Sydney Wells, who's a Barstool. She's an archery hunter. She's been around for a
Yeah.
while. And then they had
Also, an MLB team of Mickey and Michael Brantley.
yep. So 2 MLB guys. Chris Zaldane and Hood Fishing. That's going to be an interesting one.
Seth Fighter and Sydney Wells.
Seth and Sydney, Rick Clunn and Randy Moss.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Randy and Rick, Patrick Queen and Taylor Knowles. You've got Michael Brantley and Mickey Brantley, who are MLB guys.
You know, that might actually be a good pairing. 'cause
Pastrana and Martin, Cody Cannon, Slookup, Ross Chastain, Logan
Randy is
Parks,
country is.
B. Rob and Jamie Hartman, Co Wetzel and Maddie Wong. So yeah, those are your teams.
They're gonna televise this, right?
It is. It's follow the event on bassmaster.com. So they'll be streaming it live on their website. When is that? The 21st.
21st. I'll be watching that.
See, that's
Yeah,
more
I'm
more
not gonna miss
exciting
that
than
one.
most tournaments right there.
It's
dude.
definitely more exciting than anything the BPT's
And
done.
look-
Loved the coverage the NPFL has. Great to be able to pick from several cameras.
Mhm.
Yeah, Nick, it is. It's awesome. The NPFL does a great job. If you haven't checked them out, like Trey was saying, head over to the NPFL socials and join that giveaway. It's free to enter. If you win, they fly you down to Hartwell.
Yep.
And you're going to fish a 10-man tournament.
Hartwell or Murray.
It might be Murray.
I
One of
can't
those two. It's one of the South Carolina lakes. It's either Murray or Hartwell, but they'll fly you there. They're going to pair you up with an NPFL pro. You're going to fish against 9 other teams, including yourself if you win. Winner gets $2,500 and a year's supply of first form supplement. So pretty cool deal that they're doing. And I'm sure there's
Oh, that's why I kept getting those emails.
Yeah.
I unsubscribed. to them.
I'm sure there's a bunch of other prizes and giveaways and stuff. So
KVD boats.
KVD boats getting giveaway. Yeah.
So I went
I entered that.
when I was researching my
What?
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 2023
Go to,
Nitro 21
Humminbird or
ZXL.
Johnson.com. Yeah.
I will enter that.
I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can win KVD's last ever tournament boat.
Who do I want to go fishing with?
Oh yeah, so Jeff, I want to fish for sure, man. I'll hit you up. I'll get with you offline. I got some time off coming up, and we should definitely link up. I don't know what your schedule looks like, but we'll get something going. Hey fellas, hope you guys are well. No one wearing shades tonight. Nah, I don't wear sunglasses inside, man. I'm not cool enough for that. Trey,
I wore him here though.
yeah, I definitely rocked them today.
I just ordered my wife last night 2 pairs of Hobies. So like I think we got like 14 pairs of Hobie sunglasses.
Yeah,
in the
because you got
house.
your kids'
I
pairs, you got
my
your
yeah. Kids are rocking them for sports. They're great for kids, man, like softball, baseball, stuff like that. And then every lens that I need for on the water. And then my wife, she got herself some stylish glasses coming in. So
Now, Jonathan, you're good. I appreciate the 5-star rating. I'll put your name in there. Just if you can, either go on YouTube or if you listen to us somewhere else, if you can go to those pages. I'm going to post the link tree again. If you go there at the top of it, you'll see all of our areas where we go. Just click on either the YouTube or the Apple Podcast or whatever. Leave a review there, and I'll just go ahead and enter you. I'm off until mid-April. All right, Jeff, I'm gonna get up with you, man. We're definitely gonna go. We're definitely gonna go hit the lake here in the next couple weeks.
dang, he's off and he goes back to work right before I get off too. But hey, April 18th through the 25th, I'll be off, and I know David's coming down to do some bed fishing. I also invited Michael Johns to come up following his Toyota Series event, I believe. And so we're gonna go whack some off the bed. So if you guys are in the area and you want to go fishing,
Keep
and
going. I'm updating the list before I forget.
if you want to go bed fishing and stuff, you got a boat or you don't got a boat, hit us up, let us know, and we'll try to get you out on the water and jack some big old ones off the bed. So
Yeah,
We're doing that next week.
yeah,
yeah,
because
you still got another week, but you'll be fishing.
We'll see.
yeah,
Back this another 4 days of 31-degree nights will slow things.
go
down.
whack them at
Well, I will say
Cody.
this:
Oh, go ahead.
when there was a layer of pollen on the water this morning,
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, we're right there.
we're right
we're
there.
right there.
We just need stable, warm weather, and
100%.
we don't quite have it yet.
Cody,
we're
let us know
close.
how you do on Jordan tomorrow, man. We're curious because they've been putting some bags in the boat, dude.
They have. They've been putting bags. Jordan's been putting out. Falls has been putting out. I think they're all. Yeah. Wow. Can I go? I think I might be off it. Hal, of course you can go, man. You're always welcome.
Is that Hal?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Hal.
They were on beds today at Mott on base.
Oh, a Mott Lake? Oh, no kidding. I don't doubt it because Mott's not very, I don't think Mott's very deep. So it's probably pretty warm.
They are definitely not.
What were the water temps for you today?
58
Yeah,
in some parts of the lake. And then if you ran all the way up north, 63, but it's super dirty.
Yeah, so
Oh.
you're still
My-
a week or two.
There's a
little-
bunch of males
My
that
little
moved up.
my
though.
little pond last Thursday and Friday were 62.
Yeah.
You got to look at that morning temp. If it's below 60, they're not going to spawn. So
Yep.
you've got to get 60 all day, all through the night. And these cold nights are just slowing it down a little bit. Like I said, we're a week, we're two to 3 weeks.
Cold nights and days
I
like
think.
today, all the way it was 75 or 80.
Yeah.
Windy.
Yep.
Cloudy with some rain. Like it's not good.
If you're on YouTube watching us, just subscribe and like it, man. And I got your
Oh.
name in the giveaway, so appreciate you.
Hmm.
So what was I about to say?
I don't know.
We were talking about weather. We were talking about fit. Yeah. So we just need, and then next week we've got cold nights. And then we've got in the extended forecast, 7 days of nothing but clouds and rain and low 60 temperatures. So it's still early. Everybody should be excited, but it's not quite there yet for our North Carolina folks. It's getting there, but they ain't moving up.
There's
Fishers of Men on Jordan is going to be a good one, Nick. Yeah, we're there at a really good time that last Saturday of April. So
oh yeah, that's gonna be fire.
it's gonna be a blast.
Yep.
I'm on the Facebook community page. Yeah, you're good. You're good, Jonathan. I got you, brother. I appreciate
Yeah, if you're
you.
not if you're in the chat right now and you're not on the Facebook community page, go over to our Facebook community page and sign up, answer some questions, and we'll let you in.
This is the only thing I hate about fishing this time of year. 10 to 20 mile an hour winds every single day.
Yeah, wind don't bother you. I'm fishing
63
shallow.
to 66. You must have been up north, I'm assuming, but you don't have to tell me where you're at.
That's fair. Yeah, that's got to be Farrington. So I caught them in 2 feet of water on bushes in Jordan yesterday. Yep. Skeeter, man.
The bushes is where it's at, man.
Jordan, once the water starts to get warm, the bushes always heat up.
Yep. Put them in the boat, gents.
Get your last minute questions in. We're a little over an hour. I've got to go get the boat hooked up and ready to go so that I can get up in the morning and trade and I can go run around 64. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, bugs ain't gonna be 64.
No, I bet we see 56 in the morning and maybe get 60 if we actually get close to 70 by the end of the day.
Yep. But hey, we appreciate all you guys. Like Pete said, if you got anything else, fire it at us right now. If not, we're gonna jump off and go get everything buckled down. So
Yeah, I'll be hitting you up, Jeff.
yeah.
Make sure you're like, follow, all that good stuff. We appreciate everybody, man. Yeah, brother. I'm gonna get with you too, Rick. We're gonna get out in the next couple weeks. I'm gonna have much more time to fish for a little bit. So south side was 63, north was 59. What? That's wild. That's usually the opposite.
We had a south wind today.
I'm hooked up and ready to go. I know I had to bring my truck over to Trey's to record though, so I couldn't keep it. I guess I could have towed it here, but I'll hook it up when I get home and get her ready to rock for the morning, top the batteries off, and make sure my forward facing is working because that's all you need. And they just jump in the boat. So wear your PFD and be safe. Yeah. Hey, that's a great point. If you're running, wear your PFD, especially when you're running, even when you're not. If you didn't see,
Yeah.
this is the last thing that I'm going to talk about, and then we're going to do our sign off. And the lady bass anglers, they were down on Toledo Bend last week. Water there is mid 60s, but it was rainy, windy. Toledo Bend gets rough. Nikki Jo Haley is one of their anglers. She was on the front of the boat. I think she got hung. She got hung or something. I have to go back and read it. She was working to do something with a rod, and a wave hit her and caught her off, and it threw her off the front of the boat. It was raining. There were probably 3-footers. She was able to grab the gunnel as she went in, but because of being in the water, it filled her bibs and her boots, and it actually drug her down. And she saw the bottom of her trolling motor, and her co-angler ran up there and grabbed the hood of her coat and was able to pull her back up. Otherwise, she would have been drugged to the bottom and died. So if you're fishing in rough water, whether it's warm water or cold, and I'm making this statement right now because I don't do it and I'm going to start doing it, wear your PFD because it can happen that fast. She went from having a heck of a day fishing, having a good time, to being
almost dead.
I mean, probably a game of inches at that point. If her co-angler doesn't react, doesn't grab her hood, she's on the bottom of the lake, and you're
Or
probably
she doesn't have a co-angler.
or she doesn't have a co-angler. So always when you're running, always in cold water. I did get that, Skeeter. And if you're fishing rough water, no matter how warm it is, just throw your PFD on. Most of us are probably wearing inflatables now. It doesn't take up that much space. It doesn't hinder you. And I need to do a better job of it as well. It's not worth it. Yeah, last year, nine, I'm not going to say anglers, 9, that's passing through.
Oh,
Last
yeah.
year,
What's up, Rick?
9 lives were lost on Jordan Lake alone here in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And every single one of them would have been avoided if they had worn PFD. So wear your flotation device so you can go home to whoever it is you want to go home to, so you can make the next tournament, so you can do whatever it is you need to do. We want to see y'all
Well,
live.
we ain't the only ones on the water, because as things heat up, so do all the pleasure boaters, all the jet skiers, all those other folks too. So you got to pay attention. So
Absolutely. So appreciate y'all. Wear your PFDs. Stay safe. Treat each other well. Stop arguing on the internet. All that good stuff. We love y'all. We appreciate the support. And we'll see you next week. And we thank you for continuing to help us cultivate a culture of anglers helping anglers, one cast at a time.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh God, it's a toad, son. It's a toad, dude.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day.